Hello. Kangi thukse nge zune tawa thamchas pangpechir tampechus niston zatpa Gautam Dela chaksalo. Jule, Tashi Delek, and a very warm greeting everyone. Distinguished Venerable Geshe Lagdola, Director of Library of Tibetan Works and Archives, respected Venerable Geshe Samdubla, Director of Flowering Dharma, and all my Dharma friends. My name is Jigme Dolkar, and on behalf of retreat students and Flowering Dharma, I would like to share that it is a deep honor and great joy to have the interactive session with Venerable Geshe Lagdola. Although it is my first time to have the honor of meeting Venerable Geshe Lagdola, but our senior members have already told us so much about him that we all have been excited since the very first day when we got to know that we will be getting the opportunity to meet Venerable Geshe Lagdola. Our seniors have also told Geshe-la that you have helped them in their studies and in their career life and also in their daily life from your teachings and your gentle humor, Geshe-la. Due to Geshe-la's love and kindness towards Flowering Dharma members, many of the best of best learning centers have also approached Flowering Dharma, which is again a very great thing, where he has never denied whenever all the students and youngsters, when they are dedicatedly, they wanted to learn from him, he has always helped and supported Flowering Dharma members, which is again a very great thing. Ka Tashile, Ache Lobsangla, and other senior members have also mentioned that there were instances where it was difficult for Geshe-la to travel far away from Arunachal to Leh, but then again he never denied and accepted and contributed as much as he can for the youngsters like us. Even during pandemic, where the world was drowning, he continued to guide us through his online teachings, which is again a big thing for all the students and all the people all over the world. I could only think of this Geshe-la, that how fortunate our seniors have been and how fortunate today I am standing here and representing Flowering Dharma, and to finally have the chance to meet the very own Venerable Geshe Lagdola. You may live long, Geshe-la, and have a good health, and to continue to illuminate the path of Dharma and love and compassion to all the youngsters like us, Geshe-la. Thank you so much for accepting our request to, in a very short span of time. It is a great opportunity for us, Geshe-la, and even I also want to share one thing with you, Geshe-la, that I would like to proudly share that with the help of Ka Tashile, Ache Lobsangla, and Venerable Geshe Samdubla, after the pandemic, we juniors have come forward and taken the initiative to again do a lot of events to share as much as wisdom as we can through different profound Geshe-las and other scholars and speakers. Now, today, we stand here as a member of 200 to 300 members, not only from Ladakh, but also from Lahaul Spiti, Kinnaur, Jammu, Chandigarh, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, and even from South India, like Kerala. There are 3 students also from Kerala who have joined the retreat. So, we have also organized and volunteered at other government organizations and events and conferences, Geshe-la, where tirelessly we worked, where the event was on preserving our own Nalanda tradition as well. And last week, we also attended a 7-day retreat at Deer Park Institute on dealing with stressful emotions, which is again important for the students like us who are in kind of anxiety and stress, where we had the chance to broaden and deepen our understanding on Buddhist philosophy. It completely changed our perspective on how we perceive and see the world. The people we were back then and the people after 7-day retreat, we felt completely different, and it was a unique experience. And I am sure that others have experienced the same. Do you agree? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So, Geshe-la, although it is not required, we all have heard a lot about you, but since the day we got to know that we will be having the honor to meet you, we all have been searching about you. Our seniors have already told us, and you have a very unique way of teaching and making us understand. So we all are very excited, Geshe-la. But before we enlighten, let me give a brief introduction about Venerable Geshe-la. Venerable Geshe Lagdola is the Director of Library of Tibetan Works and Archives in Dharamsala. As we have already watched the actual aim and objective, which is again very amazing, and it is a great honor to have here. It is and I'm sure like most of us have not visited here before, but we will make sure that when we go back home, we will bring other students also in who have been waiting for it. He has served for many years as English translator and interpreter of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. He is widely known for his ability to communicate the essence of Dharma with clarity, humor, and compassion. He is a core member of Sea Learning and also Dalai Lama Trust member. With deep respect, we request Geshe Lagdola to kindly address us and share your wisdom, Geshe-la. Thank you.
Please sit down, sit down. Tashi Dilek. Are you familiar with this word Tashi Dilek? Yes. You know the meaning? Yes. You know the meaning? Yes. I have to double check. Because many Tibetans and others who say many things but they don't know. Tashi Dilek. Meaning, Chö shi tashi tashi jung, tashi kunji tashi ba, tagwe tashi nyenda ge. That is found in the name recitation of Buddha Manjushri. So that means Tashi Dilek, simply translated, Tashi means auspiciousness, Dilek means well-being. May you have the auspiciousness and may you have the well-being. That's the meaning. But how can you be auspicious and how can you obtain that well-being? Chö shi tashi. It's by knowing the Dharma that you'll become auspicious. Chö shi na. Chö shi tashi. If you know the Dharma, there will be tashi, auspiciousness in this life. Chö shi tashi tashin jung. In the future life also there will be auspiciousness. Tashi kunji tashi ba. There are many types of auspiciousness. But out of all these different types of auspiciousnesses, be it accumulating wealth, name, fame, right? And then, of course, at the end of the day, achieving liberation and enlightenment. All this will happen by knowing the Dharma. So just Tashi Dilek basically means, and Deva means obtaining human life. Legba means achieving nirvana and enlightenment. So just this, just like the word Om Mani Padme Hum, which contains all the subject matter of the Buddha's teaching. Similarly, in this just 2-3 words, it contains all the subjects of the Buddhist spiritual practices. So whenever you greet others, you should have some idea of the meaning. Okay. Now, on a lighter note. When we meet, we greet each other by saying good morning, right? Nobody says bad morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Nobody says bad morning. You know? Then your name? My name is Karma. Zakim. Karma? Zakim is what? Name of family or something. Okay. Again, karma probably means man of action, something like that. You know? Huh? Tenzin Chömpel, one who is holder of the Dharma and who makes the Dharma flourish, flowering Dharma. Chömpel. So the point that I'm making is, we all have a good name given by parents or your teachers. All have a good name. But just a good name is not enough. You should live a life which is matching the name. When you engage in the Kalachakra tantric practice, there is an occasion where the teacher gives you a new name and calls you by that new name. And then the teacher, like His Holiness, says, okay, as soon as I call you by your name, you should imagine that your mind is filled with bliss and happiness. Deva Chembu, Param Sukh. So similarly in your name also, it's really important that this name that you have must have been given to you by your kind, beloved parents or your kind teachers. So it is important to live a life matching the name. This is Dharma practice, so simple. बोलने के लिए तो बहुत कुछ है. There's countless things to say. People all over the world is talking and saying things. That's okay. But the important thing is practicing, living. We are fortunate that the Buddha has given us 45 years of his life's teaching, which are luckily now enshrined in 108 volumes, which is available in different versions here and other places also. So he has given everything to us. Okay, think like this, do like this. And he did not only end up talking, but he lived his life and got enlightened. So we are lucky that we have his teachings, but this teaching itself is not enough. He lived his life, you need to live your life. He faced his life's challenges, you need to face your life's challenges of all kinds. So unless you are ready to face the challenges, in other words, unless you are ready to face the situation, the reality पर अब आपका आंख मूंद करके बैठेंगे तो कहीं भी नहीं पहुंचेगा आप. So that's why the important thing. After the Buddha got enlightened, the gods, human beings, they approached him and requested him to give the teaching. They all said, we are definite that you got a lot of wisdom through many years of meditation and practice. Kindly share this nectar-like teaching. He did not accept giving teaching. He was different from some of the modern teachers. The modern teachers are marketing their knowledge. Oh, I am the best teacher. Come and listen to me. You will start flying in 1 week. And you will start levitating. All those things. And Hindi में बोलता है ना, राम नाम जपना प्राय मल अपना. That's the thing. Most people, many teachers, they are marketing in a different way. They are doing business in a different way. All religions, you see such people, unfortunately. But Buddha was different. He said, no. I can't give any teaching. Then he was requested again and again. He said, no, it's not. No, what I found is profound. Listen carefully. What I found is profound, peaceful, free from fabrication, clear light, unconditioned. To whomever I teach it, nobody will understand it. Just leave me alone. Let me do my meditation. आपके समाज में नहीं आएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि profound, peaceful, free from fabrication, clear light, unconditioned. So he was saying this not because he has no compassion for people, but he was saying this for 2 reasons. One, he was basically saying, I spent so many of my lives trying to understand the law of nature, simply said, trying to understand the law of nature, how it functions. And with so many lives, hard work and experience, I achieved where I am today. This is not an easy job. So if you really want to listen to the teaching, there should be some seriousness. ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. There should be some seriousness. There should be genuine interest. Not because others are listening, you should also go, Not just joining the crowd. In today's world, people just join the crowd. If there's a fruit seller, everybody goes to buy it. If there is a jacket, everybody goes there. Not thinking a second time whether I really need to have this or not. तो जहाँ सब लोग दौड़ता है वहीं दौड़ता है. People rush where everybody is rushing. And the end is, most of the people rush to go into hell. So that's where we are going. Therefore somebody said, in life, this is a little bit, as you said, I have this capacity of making it easy, so this is one thing that I want to share. So this statement says, in life, you should not worry at all. Because either you will be healthy or you are sick. If you are healthy, of course, no need to worry, right? Now the question is, what about if you are sick? Then it says, if you are sick, either you will recover or you will die. If you recover, no need to worry. Now the question is, what should you do if you are going to get sick? So die. Then he said, if you die, no need to worry. Because either you will go to heaven or you go to hell. If you go to heaven, of course, no need to worry, right? Now the question is, what about if I go to hell? If you go to hell, no need to worry, because all your predecessors, relatives, friends, they're all there. Ab kab aaya? Achha. Chai pine aa jao, mere ghar mein, come to my room, have a nice cup of tea. They're all waiting. So the point that I'm making is, unfortunately, most of us go a little bit down. I'm not trying to give you a pessimistic view, but this is the truth. Because we, without any thinking, without any, contemplation, we just rush where other people rush. So the point that I'm making is, if you want to become a little bit different, you need to act and live a little bit different, like Buddha, like some of the great teachers, like Milarepa. When Milarepa is said to be, adept, saint scholar, who is said to have achieved enlightenment in one lifetime. But if you read his life story, you will not believe it. Is it possible that such a person can live like this? Just one example, he lived completely naked amidst the snow mountains of Tibet. When his sister, feeling very sad, he said, "Brother, your way of Dharma practice is so strange. Look at other teachers. They have many followers, students. When they come on, at that time, in those days there was no carcade, but lines of horses, looking magnificent, having banners and canopies on their head." Then Milarepa smiled and he said, if I am to do a fictitious, false Dharma, I can do that very easily. That's the easiest job, but I'm doing the real Dharma. Different, totally different. When he was asked to join the crowd, sit in the villagers went to him and said, "Milarepa-ji, please, you are just moving from one mountain to another mountain. It's very difficult to trace you. Please come and stay with us in the village so that we can also make you offering, look after your food and other things, and you can also constantly give us teaching." He said, No. My living together with you will not only not be able to help you, but you might pull me down also. So the point that I'm making is, we may not be able to, although we all have the potential to become Buddha and Milarepa, but we may not be able to practice it, but we can start moving towards it, doing a little bit differently. If you want to sincerely practice Dharma, change your life towards more harmony and happiness, and similarly contribute towards happiness and peace and harmony of other people, you need to make a little bit more effort. Lagan, mehnat hona chahiye. And which is an uphill task in today's world. The amount of distraction, the environmental situation, Go to places like Delhi or any other big city. Everybody is saying, "Okay, come, my dear, come. Let us enjoy whatever that means. Let us enjoy." And then you visit all the shops, all the malls, and I'm not saying don't visit. I also visit. But what I'm saying is, there's so much distraction. If there is so much distraction, how can you concentrate? One of the most important fundamental teachings of Buddha is morality, concentration, and wisdom. Morality, helping others, not harming others. Doing good things, not doing bad things. Right? As simple as that. That is the foundation. If that is not there, no amount of knowledge will be of any use. You may be very, very intelligent and know many of the modern subjects, And you may be able to, at the end of the day, you may end up inventing a nuclear bomb, which is there now. Over 20,000 nuclear bombs are there in this world today, right now. Right? So therefore, the purpose of this life, and this life, believe me, this life is not very long, it's very short. So the question is, आप क्या करना चाहता है? What is it that really you want to do? Just spend your life with others, hi, he, who, and then die? Or a little bit meaningful? Think a little bit more. And distinguish yourself from other animals. There's no denying the fact that in the beginning we were also animals. If you read the scientific stories, we were also animals. And not only we were animals, we were one of the weakest animals. क्योंकि दूसरों को मरने के लिए हमारे पास दांत भी ठीक नहीं है. Tiger, lion, we don't have teeth like tigers and lions, वो भी नहीं है ना? और hawks and eagles की तरह ये पंजा भी नहीं है. कुछ भी नहीं है, ऐसे scratch के लिए थोड़ा और कुछ नहीं है. So the story says we were like so weak, if a lion or a tiger or somebody kills an animal, we were just, watching, hoping that small piece of meat will be left somewhere there amidst the bones or something like that. We don't dare to go there. Then the lion eats their food and they go away. Then the jackals and others come and they again scratch whatever is left. Still you are not able to go there. When everybody is gone, then you sheepishly go there and smell and try to do it. That is the story. So weak. So weak. The land was completely controlled by the tigers and lions, elephants. There was no sign of human beings there of controlling it. Sea was controlled by whales, crocodiles, and other ferocious sea animals. We were not there. Sky was controlled by hawks, eagles, other birds. We were nowhere there. We had no control on all these three realms, areas. Now today, we control the land, we control the sea, we control the space. How all this came about? All this came about because we learned how to do things together. Because we were weak, and often you will see in the society, if there's a small group of, weaker society, they will hang together and they'll try to do something together, try to achieve something together, because their whole society, community or life is in threat. So because of that, human beings came together. And through this togetherness, they try to challenge other, intruders or other animals. And then we had a little bit better brain. Human beings probably have the biggest head comparing to other animals, judging by the size of the body. Of course, there are some animals who have very big body, big brain, but judging by the size of the body, human beings have the biggest brain. Right? So much so, you have noticed that the child after birth, 4, 6, 7 months, the child is not even able to lift the head. इतना बड़ा सिर लेके आया कि 6-7 महीना तक हम लोग सिर उठा भी नहीं सकता है ना? So we brought large amount of brain. But the point that I'm making is, unfortunately, we are not using this brain. And on occasions when we use the brain, we use it for the wrong purposes. We use it for bullying others. We use it for black marketing. We use it for corruption. We use it for raping, stealing, right? And worse, as I said, inventing nuclear bomb and other ballistic missiles. All countries are now competing to invent machines to kill more people. Unfortunately, that is the situation today. So our original story was a story of cooperation. Now because of this smart brain, now today that we are going on the opposite side. non-cooperation. There are people like Mahatma Gandhi who spoke so much about cooperation, but people look at the world today. Everybody is trying to kill each other. Less cooperation. Right? And this negative way of thinking is supported by sophisticated machines, arms to destroy and kill. तो मेरा प्रश्न है कि क्या कर रहा है? What are you doing? You obtain this precious human life for a short time, and you don't know how to live this life happily. At least you should be happy. And you will be happy not by mistreating and cheating others. You will not be happy just making money. Money is needed. There are many things you need, but to be honest, you won't get that genuine happiness just by this accumulation of external material facilities. 100% sure. Actually, it's a paradox. The more you have, the more you will have problems. आपके पास कोई सामान है ही नहीं तो चोर क्यों आएगा आपके पास? है ना? आपके पास ज़्यादा पैसा है, सामान है, तब तो देख रहा हूँ वहाँ चोर वहाँ जा रहा है, मैडम जा रहा हूँ पीछे करो. आपके पास कुछ है ही नहीं तो. So that's why the Buddha said, I'm so happy because I have nothing. When he said, I'm so happy because I have nothing, means he has nothing in terms of material accumulation, but he has everything inside. Compassion, love, foresight, insight, wisdom, all those things. And the important thing is these inner resources that you have cannot be stolen by thieves, cannot be robbed by robbers. And if you've done it properly, then you can take these resources for many lives to come, in the future lives also. The external accumulation, number one, when we came into this world, we have nothing. Forget about other things. सिर में बाल नहीं है, अभी मेरा भी बाल चल रहा है, मतलब जाने का वक्त हो गया. This is, if you look at the indications of the law of nature, you see. So when we came into this world, no hair, no teeth, and nothing. No language, only language was crying, right? Only language was crying. And by crying, what do you think the child is asking? Huh? It is 100% sure the child is not asking for a lengthy discourse on Buddhism or thereby Christianity or Islam. The child is asking, give me love, not only love, but unconditional love. I'm saying unconditional love because love, even after we are grown up, we also ask for love. But the love that we ask for when we are grown up is business love. You love me so long as I love you. And when you stop loving, I also stop loving. Business हुआ नहीं. See, in Buddhism, we are not talking about that love. We are talking about the love which the child was asking when the child was crying. The child was saying, give me this unconditional love because I have nothing to give you. And the mother or whoever is the caretaker gives that unconditional love because of which the child is able to grow and flourish. That's what we need. That's what we need. Unconditional love. Why unconditional love? Do you love yourself? Do you love yourself? Yes. Many people, they have no idea. मुझे अपने आप को कैसे प्यार करना है? How can I love myself? Many people, they don't think about that. It's very important you love yourself. If you are loving yourself, it means you are loving others. If you love yourself, it means you are taking care of yourself. And taking care of yourself is taking care of others. If you love yourself, take care of yourself, your mother will be happy, father will be happy, your people will be happy, everybody will be happy. Right? If you are unable to take care of yourself, it is almost hypocrisy to say that I'll take care of others. बोलता तो हम लोग यही बोलता है ना, when we meet and separate, then we say, bye, take care. बोलता है ना, कोई नहीं बोलता कि bye, I'll take care. Nobody is saying that. This is what the Buddha was teaching. Bye, take care. I've shown you the path to Nirvana. Nirvana is up to you. That's what the Buddha said. And that's what you are also saying in your regular exchange. Bye, take care. Right? So therefore, the important thing is, when we talk about doing the Buddhist practice, what is important for you to know in simple language, the Buddha is asking, know the Dharma means know the law of nature. That's what he's saying. Know the law of nature. Law of nature means impermanence that we talk about in Buddhism. It's the law of nature. Interdependent origination that Buddha spoke about. It's the law of nature. These are not invented by Buddha. They were there. But unfortunately, in our case, we tend to look at those things which we want to look, not those things which we should be looking. करता है कि नहीं करता है? खाना भी आप लोग वही खाएगा जो मुझे खाना चाहता है, वो नहीं खाएगा जो आपके सेहत के लिए अच्छा है. नहीं खाता है कि नहीं खाता है? मुझे मीठा बहुत अच्छा लगता है, मुझे खट्टा बहुत अच्छा लगता है. And you keep on eating the same thing, then of course you get sick. So don't keep on seeing things that you just want to see. See things that you must see. Don't keep on doing those things which you think you should do, but those that are important to do. So that means in order to do that, you need to have a clear understanding of law of nature. You can't go today through scientific inventions, and now probably maybe with this artificial intelligence and ChatGPT and so forth, people are thinking, okay, we will control the nature. Never. You will never be able to control the law of nature. If you go against the law of nature, you will be the one who will suffer. And in fact, I don't know much about artificial intelligence, but the very title, I am a little bit shocked. Genuine intelligence तुम्हारे पास है, वो तो आप इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते हैं. और artificial के पीछे वही तो कर रहे हैं ना. We don't know how to use the genuine intelligence you have, and we are so fond of running after artificial things. Artificial human being, artificial intelligence, सब नकली. By this statement, I'm not trying to turn the clock back. I'm not saying people who invented all those things, they are stupid, and I'm not saying there may be some good things that you can also take in modern life, and especially if you live with people, you need to adapt a little bit with other people, otherwise you will be left behind. This is the situation. For example, if you are alone, the only good person, surrounded by 20 robbers, thieves, dacoits, corrupted people, you don't like these people, but for the time being, because of the situation, you need to act a little bit like them. Or chara nahi hai, there is no other solution. So therefore we need to learn a little bit of these things, but at the core, what is important for us to remember is, today the world is suffering not so much because of shortage of material things. The world is suffering because of empathy deficit, compassion deficit. Compassion कम है, empathy नहीं है. Whether it's the leader or the employer, whoever, all trying to use people, make as much money as possible, unfortunately. So the world is ruled by business people today. There was a time when the world was ruled by army generals, right? And there was a time when the world was ruled by so-called the religious people. Now today, the world is ruled by business people, ruled by money. And that's why we see all these unfortunate things. I'm not exaggerating. Look at the environment. Not only here, but everywhere. Look at the environment. Air is polluted, water is polluted. People don't hesitate to do all the nasty things so long as money is forthcoming. Right? So therefore it is important not to collude with those wrongdoers, not to collude. Gandhiji's non-cooperation movement. At least don't cooperate. If you are able to go against them, say things, change things, that's amazing, but it's not easy. But at least directly, indirectly, don't collude with these people. And try to create a society where there is harmony, where there is respect, where there is love, where there is compassion. What do you mean by compassion? Compassion basically means, I can give all kinds of definition, but at the end of the day, compassion means understanding and non-judgmental. Not judging other people, who they are, Simply developing this understanding that all these people want happiness, not getting enough. All these people don't want suffering, but they're getting enough of those sufferings and problems. And then at the end of the day, everybody will get sick and die. वही तो है ना, और कुछ नहीं है ना. So these days, in a challenging note, imitating the Buddha's first sermon, these days I've started telling people, look, the world population today, right now, is over 8 billion. है ना? All this over 8 billion human population are dead after 100 years from today. अब सोचो तो. I'm not saying somebody will kill all of them. All those things are there to expedite the situation. But even otherwise, on an average, your life may be 100 years, not more than that. So after 100 years, counting from today, all this over 80 billion human population are dead. This is an average explanation. But in your individual case, count your own age, where you are right now. In my case, I'm already over 70. So I may live another, if lucky, 10 years. Why I'm saying this? I'm saying this because you have obtained this very precious human life. In Buddhism, we call human life precious human life. In Christianity, we are termed as the crown of the creation. So are you living in accordance with this beautiful title? क्या कर रहे हैं आप? Have you made your life precious? Can you consider your life as the crown of the creation? There may be few people, but generally speaking, we are, unfortunately, in many cases, we are acting worse than the animals. I mean, I already broached the subject, the air pollution, water pollution. Are these pollutions created by tigers and lions? Snakes? No. किसने किया? So-called intelligent human beings. Intelligent बोलते हैं ना हम लोग अपने आप को. We call ourselves intelligent human beings. So make a clear distinction between information, knowledge, intelligence, and wisdom. Today, we proudly call ourselves living in the age of information, right? But if you sit down and think carefully, much of the information you are getting is junk information. How much time you are wasting just by judging the junk information? You spend so much time looking at the junk information, you even destroy your eyesight. Oh, हो रहा है, इनको थोड़ा काम करो, to start with. है ना? So information, even if you open any of the television channels, unfortunately, most of these channels are working for some business people or some leaders. Many of them, unfortunately, not reliable. Godi media बोलते हैं ना आजकल, बोलते हैं ना Godi media, है ना? But that doesn't also mean all social media are good. They may also have their own personal agenda. So you need to sift the right information using your brain. Brain इस्तेमाल करना है. So if you get the right information, then probably you will get the right knowledge. If you get the right knowledge and then live in accordance with the knowledge, then you will be able to get the wisdom. Information is like getting all the information regarding how to build a ship. Read many 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 books about how to build a ship or how to build a car, whatever. That's information. So you get a lot of knowledge. But that doesn't mean you are able to build a ship. Then when you have the knowledge, you are able to build the ship. It's a big progress. But that's not enough. What is really important is wisdom that will ensure the ship does not sink. Knowledge है ना हम लोगों के पास, काफ़ी knowledge है. People have a lot of some kind of ideas and knowledges, but still it's not working because there is no wisdom based on one's own personal experience of life. So wisdom comes by living, not just talking, not just getting information. Right? Just as the Buddha shared his life's experience, you can also share honestly your life's experience. खुद को जांच कर देखो किस तरफ से जाने से अच्छा है, किस तरफ से जाने से अच्छा नहीं है. Don't just keep on listening to Buddha and His Holy Dalai Lama and other people, Listen to yourself. And with honest judgment, see whether it's better to get angry or whether it's better to be compassionate. सोचना पड़ता है, इधर आपको समय लगाना है. You need to give some time and think. Otherwise people say, what? Compassion in today's world? यहाँ तो सब लुमड़ी वगैरह सब चारों ओर बैठा हुआ है. हाँ, सब खींचतान कर रहा है. मैं यहाँ कंपेशन कैसे बैठ सकता है? तो इसलिए आजकल की दुनिया में तो टफ होना चाहिए. You should be tough in today's world. Otherwise you will become a doormat. Many people say these things. There are those who don't say, but deep down in their mind they are thinking like this. But that clearly shows you have no understanding of what compassion is. And you have no understanding what non-violence is. So many people, unfortunately, they think compassion and non-violence is a sign of weakness. But actually it is a sign of strength. Only compassionate and non-violent people will stop killing other people, exploiting other people. Right? So you need a lot of understanding, good understanding. For example, this year is the year of compassion, right? So, for example, you should spend a lot of time really studying, thinking about compassion. Compassion, by being compassionate, one thing you should do is, when you practice compassion, make sure you don't become a doormat. पाँव सब करने के लिए होता नहीं चाहिए. And you will be able to do that if you use your wisdom. With wisdom, if you develop compassion, that is called great compassion. There are many types of compassion: ordinary compassion, immeasurable compassion, compassion focusing sufferings of sentient beings, compassion focusing on the impermanent nature of sentient beings, compassion focusing on the lack of inherent existence of human. So many ways of developing it. So the point is, I really like the definition of compassion is how nice if all sentient beings are without suffering, right? Henna a definition. So there you need to feel when other people, in the empathy practice, they say walking in the shoes of other people, something like that. You need to feel. If you're not able to feel, then think about your own suffering. If you have a migraine headache, what was the experience? If you have good experience of that, whenever you hear other people suffering from migraine headache, you will feel sorry for that person. And you will genuinely then move forward in reducing the suffering of that person. Right? And then the question comes, okay, it's good to talk about other people, but why should I care too much about them? They'll take care of themselves, I will take care of myself. वो भी सोचते हैं हम लोग. Who am I to take care of others? People ask this question also. But then if you ask such a silly question, then you should ask the question, why should I take care of myself? कौन है तुम? Why should you take care of yourself? You might say, I must take care of myself because I'm Geshe Lagdor, I have the title Geshe or a professor. So what? There's so many other Geshe, so many other professors, right? So at the end of the day, the right answer will be, I take care of myself because I want happiness, do not want suffering. वही है, not because you are a professor or teacher or Geshe. So if this is your reason, then you should take care of others also because they want happiness, do not want suffering. Still you will say, that is true, but they'll take care of themselves, I'll take care of myself. When you say this, then you are seeing the situation as totally unrelated, that you are totally not connected to others. This is like saying, my hand is hand, leg is leg, separate. See, if the leg is hurt, why should my hand go down to massage the leg? If your leg is hurt, hand jata hai na niche? Jata hai na? क्यों जा रहा है? ये हाथ है ना, ये लेग थोड़ी है. तो लेग सारे को मारने दो. You have to go down because it is the leg that carries you. You are connected. Similarly, other people, especially in today's world, whether you know them directly or not, people everywhere in the world, you are connected to them. We are hurled and thrown into the face of each other through the speed of science and technology. है ना? So therefore we should take responsibility. And in order to take that responsibility, the first thing that you should have is happiness. If today, if I'm a dog, a cow, what can I do? Nothing I can do. But I'm not that. I'm a human being, intelligent human being. At least there are certain things I can do. So be happy. And take good care of your health. That will also contribute towards your happiness. And if you keep on eating junk food, then your road to dharma practice will become bumpy. ज़्यादातर हम लोग जंक फूड खाते हैं ना. जंक फूड क्या होता है? हाँ? What is junk food? Junk food are those primarily packaged food, which is a lot of sugar, lot of salt. If you want to do very good dharma practice, or if you want to be really happy and healthy, first stop these destructive habits. Be it food, be it your way of life, be it your way of thinking. उसको चेंज करो. बड़ा बड़ा बात मत करो पहले. निर्वाण एनलाइटमेंट छोड़ो थोड़ा. हाँ, पहले खुद को संभालो. सही खाना खाओ, सही जगह चलो. हाँ, make friendship with good people. Then you will be happy. And when you have a happy mind, you can do many good things. But look at His Holiness. You are seeing him today or tomorrow? Tomorrow. He is now 90 years old, but always smiling and completely at peace with oneself, encouraging others. That's the example. And we can all do that. And the good thing, another reason that you should be happy is you young people, especially from Ladakh. I know you are very, very enthusiastic and committed to spiritual dharma practice. But I want to warn you a little bit. When you are committed to spiritual dharma practice, that's important. You should understand the essence. Don't follow the ritual. Jadatar, without knowing anything, just going around the temple, without knowing anything, just going for pilgrimage after pilgrimage, the Tibetans do all the time. I'm not against that. You can do not only pilgrimage, you can do whatever you like, so long as it doesn't harm other people. So who am I to say not to do that? I'm not saying don't do that. But the important thing is, understand the heart, the essence of Buddha's teaching. Change your attitude, perception, with regard to other people, with regard to the law of nature. Understand the law of nature, the truth. Right? That's very, very important. That's very important. Okay? Change your attitude and behave normally. You don't have to show that, I am from Flower Dharma, so I am very special. And then probably the group from Flowering Dharma also come up with a special costume. Not needed. People come and do these things. That's not needed. The important thing is change your thinking, attitude, mental outlook. The very term dharma, or the Tibetan term chö, means to transform, to change. If you are changing and transforming your mind, you are doing dharma practice. If you are not changing your attitude from the negative to the positive, you spend your whole life in the temple. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Change your attitude. Build temple in you wherever you go. Buddha's image must be there. Temple must be there. And that temple, that Buddha's image, which is in your mind, and nobody can steal it. आजकल दुनिया लड़ रहा है ना जगह के ऊपर, ये है वो है, क्या बेवकूफ है, बच्चों जैसे like stupid. Yes, sometimes we need place to show, but generally speaking, no. ठीक है ना? क्या समझा? जब मैं डलहौजी में था, when I was a student and studying in Dalhousie, our neighbor was in a police kind of group. So sometimes we just talk, So one day one of these police told me a story. I remember this very well. So there was a senior police who give some instruction to the junior one. And after giving the instruction, he said, समझ में आ गया? जी हाँ समझ में आ गया। सब कुछ समझ में आ गया? जी हाँ सब कुछ समझ में आ गया। क्या समझा? सर कुछ नहीं समझा। ऐसा तो नहीं है ना? ऐसा तो नहीं है ना? Okay, so I did a lot of talking. Yeah. So the important thing is ask some questions. So the important thing, few things. Live in accordance with the law of nature. Be compassionate. Use your brain. Don't just run after crowd. Use your brain. What is right? What is wrong? Where should you go? Where should you go? Use your brain all the time. And be happy. Every day be happy. Right? How can you be happy? When I say be happy, they say, oh, दुनिया में इतना दुख है, मैं कैसा बोलने के लिए क्या क्या नहीं बोलता आदमी, लेना दुनिया का दुख तुमने क्यों बोझ उठाना है unnecessarily, real में तो अब नहीं करेगा, ऐसे ही सोच के क्या फायदा है, so be happy. Okay, ask some questions. Yes.
Tashdele Geshe-la.
Yeah.
I'm Stanzin Dolkar from
Yeah.
Zanskar.
Yeah.
And Geshe-la, my question is, there's a line you have told and that really have impact in my heart that you said, the world is ruled by businessmen nowadays. And it's really evident in Ladakh also, that's happening in everything that's happening. It's very disheartening, obviously. And my question is that, in this kind of situation, how can we cope up to this situation emotionally as well as intellectually as a youth and students of Ladakh? Thank you.
Number one, recognize your own potential. Maintain your own identity. The first thing you need to do in this world is give respect to yourself. You are the only true original copy in this whole world. बाकी लोग आपका जैसा होगा तो वो जेरोक्स कॉपी है, परवाह मत करो. You are the only true original copy in this world. Only. Why I'm saying this? When I say this, I'm not saying just your original copy. That means you have your own special capacity. The capacity may be a different talent. So recognize that and let it blossom. Don't just keep on imitating. So one of the Tibetan teacher, he says very nicely that, all activities are imitations. Whoever does the best imitation is called a scholar. Say it. So most of the time we imitate. So don't just, sometimes you can copy good things, but important thing is you have this amazing brain intelligence. Think and discover your own uniqueness capacity. Right? And then make sure that because other people are rich, it is not necessary that you should also be equally rich like those other people. No need to compete with Bill Gates or all those people. Right? But that doesn't mean you should always remain poor. You should also, as much as possible, become rich. Buddha never said that all Buddhists should live in poverty. कभी नहीं बोला था. Phunso Deshi, 4 excellences he taught. 4 excellences. Excellences means Chö nor Tharva Depatense Jel. That means on the one hand you should have this desire, wish to make progress, wish to get connected with others. In fact, the ancient Indian model of giving secular ethics education is based on these 4 models. So for this life, you need relationship with other people, communication with other people. Sure, nor means wealth. You need wealth. In order to get wealth, you need communication, good relation, contact with other people. Daba means connection with other people, including having sexual reproduction for good family life. It's not saying everybody should become monk. everybody become monk, there will be no reproduction. It's not saying that. Dapa means desire in general, for not negative one, but for, coming up with a good family, making connection with other people, things like that, for this life. But it is not just this life, there is a future life. For that you need dharma. Chö, nor latene deva, and chö latene tharva. From doing dharma practice, then you will get completely liberated. Even for this life, the bondage, the mental bondage can be removed by proper way of thinking, right? So try to go deeper into this. Now there are चार पुरुष अर्थ किताब है, मैंने कई बार देखा बाजार में, लेके पढ़ो थोड़ा, ठीक है ना? So minam dewa lungju me minla lungju jane jinlen jungchine tube tangbur jimbe tamje. If you read the Madhyamika text, Chandrakirti clearly says human beings' well-being will not be there if you don't have the material enjoyments. Minam deva lungju me mila lungju mena, no wealth, no enjoyment, you cannot be happy. At least, many of your well-being will not be there, right? And that wealth, the source of that wealth is not cheating, not robbing, but being liberal and giving and helping others. Lungchu chani jinle jungchine. By knowing that the real wealth comes by distributing, by sharing. Therefore, the first teaching that the Buddha gave us on practice of generosity, Jimba, out of the 6 perfections, right? And in today's process of education, they use the word 3H is needed for proper education. 3H. 1, head, H. Second, heart. So don't just get limited there, head, heart, और कुछ नहीं. ज़्यादातर लोगों के पास थोड़ा दिल है, दिमाग नहीं है. तो ये दोनों चाहिए, मैंने अभी बोल दिया था आपको, ये दोनों चाहिए. उसके साथ और एक चाहिए, वो hand. काम करो. Do things, not just meditating, sitting there. For your personal liberation it may be good, but if you want to uplift the society, for example, especially our Buddhist community, you need to show to the rest of the world Buddhism is working. Whether it's working in your mind or not, nobody will know it. Whether it's working or not, the first test is show it in the society. If in your society, people are helping each other, working together, contributing to the overall development, things like that, then they'll know, yes, it is working. Especially your group of young people, You should, I'm glad that you're already so much interested in Buddhism. So this is a very good example for many young people, right? So you need to tell people that it's working. We are mentally, flowering, and mentally flowering, mentally flourishing, same, mentally flowering, mentally flourishing, and materially also we are flowering, we are flourishing. वो दिखाना चाहिए आपको. नहीं तो बोल के इधर कुछ देखने के लिए बुद्धिस्ट सब पोर हैं, कुछ भी नहीं है, पैसा भी नहीं है, फिर कुछ नहीं होगा. ठीक है ना? Okay, next question.
Geshe-la, thank you so much for your profound wisdom. So Geshe-la, I am a forensic student, and as you told about the law of nature, our main principle is also principle of exchange, which is wherever we go, whatever we touch, whatever the crime scene is happening, everything is connected to each other. So when I was doing an internship there, my senior officers and other assistants, I was under them, and there was a crime scene where a girl was sexually assaulted by a group of men who were in power of some minister. And even though we had the full evidence, it was visible, we had the DNA test and everything was done, but still because of the power, everything got altered. And I was just an intern and I could not say anything. Even the assistants and even everyone wanted the evidence to come out, the main evidence. But then, since then, everything got altered and they got bail. And the poor girl who was not from a well background, she was a poor girl and she did not get the justice. And since then, even if I feel like I have committed something wrong, I studied forensic for justice, and even if I tried to bring justice, I could not give that. So since then, I have a very heavy heart in my heavy heart, Geshe-la, which I can't express right now. So I want you to advise me so that I can tell others also, even if they want to practice and do good for the society, but because of power, like people are not able to do it, Geshe-la. So thank you.
This story itself shows you will be helpless if you don't have the power. So get the power. Jinji. I mean, that is not easy, but that's the right way. Not in a negative sense, but in Buddhism it is clearly taught how to uphold and preserve the Buddha's teaching. There are 4 or 5 ways, I don't remember all of them, but one of that is Tempa To Jinsimba, upholding the teaching by power. Like, for example, right now, in the case of Tibetan community, we have His Holiness Dalai Lama, who is very well recognized because of his education, because of his compassion, things like that. That also contributes tremendously in uplifting the rest of the Buddhist community. So in Ladakh also now you are asking for your statehood and things like that. Power chahiye aapko. वो होना चाहिए. And then power, that's why we talk so much about women empowerment. In Tibetan community it's a big thing. We are doing a lot of things. Women empowerment. Normally women are a little bit like mistreated on every level. So that power should be shown together, not just one larki crying, talking to the media and then going after one leader. Because all these people are corrupted, इनके पास जाने से ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं मिलेगा आपको, है ना? So इसमें union होना चाहिए, union. And study a little bit of Mahatma Gandhi's non-cooperation and all those things also, trustee and all those things a little bit. That's one thing. But at the same time, so long as we are in the samsara, we cannot solve all the problems. उसको भी acknowledge करना है. उसको भी acknowledge करना है. And then we should also think that many times you may be not wrong, you may not have committed anything wrong, but you may be going with the wrong people. And you get into problem. So sometimes, there's a Tibetan saying, this reminded me of a story of a Tibetan warrior who was a great fighter. So he would, hang his gun on his shoulder, ride a horse, and then he's said to be very brave. And sometimes at a very desolate place, he would, dismount the horse and start making some tea. And before the tea boils, he suddenly throws the tea and then packs and then rides the horse and run away when there is no visible enemy. And then people say, "You are such a brave person. Why you are running when there is no enemy around?" He always says, sometimes it is bravery to fight the enemy. On other occasions, it is bravery to run away from the enemy. So bravery doesn't mean you commit suicide, which many people do these days, unfortunately. If you give him the labor hero, तो वहाँ छलांग मार के कूद जाएगा, वहीं मार देगा वो. हाँ, बंदूक के सामने चले जाए हीरो, बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल, न्यूक्लियर बम के सामने जाएगा हीरो. कहाँ होगा हीरो? हीरो जीरो हो जाएगा. ये तो बेवकूफ़ी है ना. तो इसलिए if you read this Aryadevas 400 verses, इसमें एक श्लोका है, the offensive and defensive acts. पहले अपने आप को कैसे सुरक्षित रखना है, फिर दूसरा कभी ऐसे जंग में आ गया तो कैसे लड़ना है, सब इसमें है. Right? So there's no one solution. You have to adopt many tactics. Then, whatever be the case, if something unfortunate happens, don't just get stuck there. जो हुआ वो हुआ. अब उसके बारे में सोच के तुम निराशा होकर बैठने से आपका नुकसान है, कुछ फायदा नहीं है. उधर मत बैठो, वो तो सपना है, चला गया. हाँ, जैसे शिंबो शिवालय के शिंगे हुआ कहते चूसो यो ना नहीं शिंगे वेदी You don't know what I say. I'm joking. This is very famous. Shanti Devanis text says, if it is something you can change, don't worry because you can change it. If it is something you can't change it, no use worrying because by worrying you can't change it. That's the thing. Many a times we are just crying over the spilled milk, you know. Koi fayda nahi. Okay. What is time? Oh, I have another group of people. So maybe last question. Yeah.
Trashidele Gisela.
I'll give short answer. Yeah.
Trashidele Gisela.
Oh.
Thank you so much for your kindness and your precious time.
Yeah.
Gisela, when we talk about this unconditional love,
Yeah.
like a mother have to her child, how can I develop this unconditional love for sentient beings? How can I develop this unconditional love for sentient beings?
You have to practice.
Like how, Gisela?
You have to practice. For example, take the for example the example of the person you don't like. Those that you like, it's easier, है ना? आपका parents, relatives, that's easier. Neutral sentient beings also easier. Take the example of somebody who has harmed you. Think about that. Why that person has harmed you? Not necessarily he enjoys that, but he harmed you because of negative emotion, short-sightedness. So that means when that person has negative emotion, he's already sick. Don't we develop love and compassion to sick people? In hospitals, when you see sick people, you don't develop love and compassion. Yes, you develop. Why? Because you know they are sick. So all those people who do all these bad things, they are doing this because they have no knowledge. They are ignorant, stupid, short-sighted. They are sick. And all these bad things that is happening in the world today is because of insanity. We always use the word insanity. Insanity means insane. पागल है. अगर कोई पागल आदमी या कुत्ता यहाँ से आया, हाँ, तो you will understand. क्या करूँ बेचारा पागल है, दिमाग काम नहीं कर रहा है. तो हमारा दिमाग भी काम तो नहीं कर रहा है ना. वो पागल थोड़ा अलग है, ज़्यादा शोर मचाता है, लेकिन हमारा दिमाग भी इतना काम नहीं कर रहा है ना. हाँ. Because of negative emotions. So with this understanding, when you have these negative emotions, not only they'll mistreat other people, they also kill themselves. There are cases of people who commit suicide. Why they commit suicide? Because their mind is not functioning. They are not healthy. Because of this. So therefore, the Buddha always sees the negative emotions as the enemy, not the person. To be nyomo dar seji nyomo tangde kansa mi. It's not easy, easier said than done. But if you do a lot of thinking, a lot of reflection, then gradually you will at least, stop having a very negative, attitude towards those wrongdoers. Like His Holiness Dalai Lama. I mean, look at the Chinese leaders. They took away whole Tibet without any reason, just because they are more populated, more powerful. Tibetans have been just doing prayer and, hatiyar bhi nahi hai, kuch nahi hai. Right? Now still, without ill will, hatred, not His Holiness is not doing this as a politician. He's saying this wholeheartedly. He's saying this whether you like it or not. Geographically, we are linked together. I can't remove the border. China can't remove the border. So if there's any conflict, any problem, this must be solved through negotiation, dialogue. Right? And why? Because this fight between two countries is not fight between a tiger and lion. Animal nahi hai hum log. If it is a fight between animal, tiger and lion, then they cannot say, okay, there is a problem, let us sit down and have dialogue. Tiger, lion dialogue कर सकता है क्या? नहीं कर सकता, तब क्या करना है? बस jump upon each other, try to tear each other apart. इतना तो समझ में आ रहा है ना, और चारा नहीं है इनके पास, हम लोग वही कर रहे हैं. We are acting like animals. Whereas, unlike the animals, we have this powerful speech. This speech is, this capacity to speak is not only saying, bring chai, bring malai, oh nahi, sirf oh nahi hai. This speech is for solving the problem through discussion, dialogue, negotiation. So these two very important features, the human language and human capacity to think, this must be used properly. Okay.
Tashidelek Gisela. I have one question. How can we be practical in this current situation, current world? Because our human heart is full of greed, anger, jealousy, and everything. But in our Ladakhi and Tibetan culture, we have been habituated since from our birth to be very kind, compassionate, and everything. So how can we be practical?
It can be very practical, because if there are many sick people, then you need medicine. If there's no sick people, why you should talk about medicine? In the world, there are so many people who don't have this positive attitude. So therefore, those people, not necessarily Ladakh and Tibetans, there are other communities who have very good heart also. So this practice of kindness, compassion, love is much more needed today, because there are so many people who are suffering. Much more needed. And then your question, it is not easy. Yes, nothing is easy. इजी तो कुछ भी नहीं होता है, जीवन में जीने के लिए भी इजी थोड़ी होता है. टू गेट a salary, to get food, आसान से थोड़ी आता है. तो if you leave it aside by saying it's not easy, that's not logical. Yeah.
Gisela, we have been habituated since from our birth to be very kind and compassionate in our culture like that. But sometimes we feel like that, oh, it's not practical to be good at some point of time. But it should be like we have.
No. The thing is like this. It is like this. As I already mentioned, to be compassionate doesn't mean that you become a doormat. दिल में करुणा होना चाहिए. बाहर में टफनेस जब जरूरत है उसको दिखाना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं कि मेरे पास कंपैशन है बोल के वहाँ बैठे रहो. हाँ, गोल चाक सिर में चाकपा चितांग डोशन. ऐसा नहीं है, ठीक है ना? हाँ. Okay, very last, because I have a group of people waiting here.
Tushikeshila, I don't know that how much relevant is it appropriate to ask this question here or not.
Yeah.
So we speak for promotion of compassion and love.
Yeah.
So because of that reason, we obviously discourage harming of weak, helpless, sentient beings, which is either human or non-human beings. So suppose right now, if I bring a live animal, a goat, into this hall and kill that animal in front of all of us, and make a beautiful sofa using her or his height or thin. Okay. So then obviously all of the people will call me cruel, very uncompassionate, very bad.
Yeah.
So you are doing wrong. It's not dharma, against dharma, na?
Yeah.
So then why it is okay to boil alive thousands of small insects alive just to make a very beautiful looking piece of brocade which we put on our tables for purpose of decoration. And if there is any justification for this, kindly
There's
enlighten
no
me.
justification. It's all because of ignorance. Number one. Number two, you will never be able to practice and do everything that you wish to do. We are not able to do. And all these are prepared not by you or some other people. There are so many. I was speaking about over 8 billion human population. And all this over 8 billion human population have all kind of ways of thinking and doing. You can't stop all of them. Buddha could not do it.
Every time I visit any monastery, any gompa, I came here, this trouble me.
But this is, I think, not pure
synthetic.
silk.
This is good. But obviously, most of the time,
Therefore, since you are recognizing all these things, you should highlight that and encourage people not to do this. You may not be able to change it overnight, but gradually there will be more awareness and less people will do those destructive activities. Okay, na? So this year, being the year of compassion, I want to give you this small book on compassion by His Holiness.
Gisela, we have a small token of gratitude from our Flying Dharma members, Gisela, if you could.
Okay.
Yes. And also after this, if you could have a group photo together. Thank you, Gisela.
Okay. Oh yeah, tuji. Ah. Oh, Dil choose it. Yeah, come.